Hello, welcome back to Tanner Style. I'm Oliver Tanner. We're out here in Osawatomie. It's a pretty nice day outside, and today we are going to make omelet taco dogs. Okay, so when we started this channel, the first video we ever posted was omelet quesadillas. Okay, now omelet quesadillas were something that I kind of made up because I was, I wanted something good to eat. I started putting some things together. I like omelets, I like quesadillas, put them together, bada bing, bada boom. Well, there was actually an evolution towards omelet quesadillas, and the first step in that evolution was omelet taco dogs. Now this was something that I put together back, about 10 years ago when I was going to culinary school, and we were pretty poor. Wait, we're still pretty poor. Anyway, we were pretty poor back then. So I was looking at what we had in our kitchen, and I was thinking, I want something good to eat. It was one of those late nights when I was up studying all night long because I was doing like 21 credits a quarter, which is insane. And I didn't really have time to sleep or anything. And so I'd often look for something late night, something to make so that I could keep going. And I looked in our fridge and I see corn tortillas. I see some of those sausages, like the Polish sausages, right? And I see some eggs. And we had a lot of eggs at that time because we had chickens. So we got our eggs for free. And this is all stuff that, it's all pretty cheap. This is a lot of stuff that we were eating at that time. And we would kind of try to make the best we could out of all this stuff. So this is really like poor people food. How do I take this little bit of stuff and make it into something better? Elevate it into something that's delicious. This is definitely not like high cuisine or anything like that. This is, you're poor and you don't have much, and here's how we make something cool out of it. Okay, and so from that foundation, I created the omelet taco dog. Let's have a look at what we're cooking with. Okay, so like I said, we start with a Polish sausage. This is nothing fancy. You're gonna find this pretty cheap at Walmart, any grocery store, packages of like 16 of these or whatever, right? And then we're also going to have some cheese that goes in with it, of course. We have the corn tortilla that is, it's a taco, right? And eggs, of course, otherwise it wouldn't be an omelet. And then for our toppings, we've got some salt and pepper that's gonna go in the eggs. Of course, we got some mustard. We have Dijon mustard today. We've got some onions. We're going to cut those up. We've got some dill pickle relish. You can use sweet relish if you want. And we have some sauerkraut that's going to go on top. And finally, of course, we can't forget, we have some of our awesome salsa matcha that we made here on this channel. All right. So we didn't do any kind of a prep montage or anything because there's really nothing to prep. I just chopped up some onions, beat some eggs, threw a little bit of salt and pepper in with them, and then that's pretty much it. Not much to watch. All right, anyway, so we're over here by the fire, so let's go ahead and let's get started. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get a pan nice and hot. So we've already got our pan over the heat, and we want this to be hot before we add any oil or anything else to it. And the way that we're gonna check to see how hot this is we're gonna throw in just a little bit of water. Okay, we want the water to be just dance. Oh, that looks pretty good. So when it's dancing around like that, it's an effect called the Leidenfrost effect, right? And so we want that to be good and hot. We're also gonna start cooking our sausage right now. We're just gonna cook that on the grill because we have it. But at home, if you want, you can definitely use something like, I don't know, toaster oven. You could cook it in the pan if you want. The point is we just want it to be cooked a little bit, okay? So we're gonna add a little bit of some oil to our pan, and we're gonna heat up that oil until it's got like a water-like consistency with the viscosity there. You can see right there, it's kind of thick. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit there. We're gonna let that oil heat up in our nice hot pan. Let's turn our sausage. Ooh, yeah, we're getting a little toasty there. All right, so at this point, it looks like I've identified a hot spot. I had the sausage over there, and you can see it's getting a lot darker over there. So I kind of turned this around a little bit. But actually, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the pan right over that hot spot, because we want the pan to get that heat, right? So we're going to let that continue cooking, and it's only going to cook for just a couple more seconds. We're going to go ahead and start up our eggs here in a minute. Let's check our viscosity. That's looking pretty good. I wouldn't mind it getting a little bit thinner than that, but that should still be pretty good. All right, so we're going to start out by putting our egg in there. We've got our oil nice and hot. You can see it's instantly cooking and coating the bottom. And then while it's still just a little bit cooked like this, not too much, okay, we've still got lots of raw egg on the top there. We're going to let it cook for just a couple more seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in our sausage or our hot dog, whatever it is you're wanting to use. And we're going to place it so it's close to this edge right here, okay? Because what we're going to do for the next part is so I'm letting it cook over here just a little bit more, but we are going to try to get underneath it and wrap it around. We're going to slowly roll everything over. All right, so at home, maybe you want to use a fork to help you out, but you want something to help you to roll this, all right? So we've got our spatula under there. All right, good, good, good. And see what I'm doing is I'm actually dragging the whole thing over as I roll it, okay? I'm going to drag it over, and I'm going to, oh, come on. It is not wanting to roll for me right now. There, come on. There we go. All right. So we want it to roll over, fold it over as much as we can. Try and keep it tight. This does take a little bit of practice, a little bit of skill involved here. And we can see we got some raw egg creeping out on this side. We're going to cook that up, and then we're just going to keep rolling this around until we got our sausage nice and sealed in there, right? And so here we have our omelet around the dog, hence the omelet part of the dog. And now the next part, after we have this sufficiently cooked up, is to achieve the taco part of the dog. Okay, so now that we have sufficiently cooked up our omelet part of the dog, we're going to go ahead. So we put a little bit of cheese on the tortilla just as a binder. We are not looking to make this thing super cheesy. The corn tortilla rather, really will not abide it. Okay, and so what we're going to do, we put our omelet part in there, and now we are just going to transfer this straight into our pan. We're going to cook up that corn tortilla just a little bit. So we want to get a decent toast onto the corn tortilla. So we're going to just hold it here for a minute. Going to let that corn tortilla cook, hopefully get a little bit crispy. And then we are just going to kind of roll it around, get it cooked on all sides. So I'll check back with you in a minute after we've gotten this toasted up pretty good. So it looks like we're pretty good here. Oh, our cheese is sticking a little bit. Let's get this turned. All right. Yeah, we're pretty good here. So let's go ahead and let's get this out of the pan, right? And let's head over and get some toppings on this. All right, so we're back at the table. Let's put on, of course, we're going to put on a little bit of salsa macha. We don't need a ton. You know, let's get in some fresh onions in there. Going to throw on a little bit of our mustard. Now, I'm using a Dijon mustard today. I also like whole grain mustards. You know, to be honest, I'm really not a fan of yellow mustard. All right, so let's get on a little bit of some of our relish here. We're going to finish it off with a nice helping of sauerkraut. So I think that looks pretty darn good. That was really good. Tastes pretty much how I remember it back from my days during college, staying up all night, studying. Just needed something quick and easy to eat. You know, this is really not very expensive to make. So a lot of times these peasant dishes, these poor people dishes, from different cultures and from around the world are often some of the most flavorful dishes that there are. And it's basically just somebody taking the little bit of stuff that they have and saying, you know what, I don't have much, but I want to make the most of it. And that's really where this dish came out of, right? I didn't have much, wanted to make the most out of it. Go ahead and try it at home. This is a really easy one to try at home. It might take a little bit of trial and error, but you know, cooking it, rolling it, flipping it might take a little bit of practice. So that's a technique that you can practice over and over. I mean, that just means you get to eat more mistakes. Nothing wrong with eating mistakes, right? And there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. Go ahead, try this out. It's delicious. You'll love it. I love it. It's been years since I've made this actually, and you know, I even had a little bit of trouble flipping it because I haven't done it for a while. As with all things, you know, the more you practice, the more you keep your skills up, and even something like rolling an omelet taco dog. So go ahead, try this out. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you can go try this out. Comment down below, how did your omelet taco dog turn out? What would you put on top of your omelet taco dog? We just went with classic hot dog toppings. You could go with more taco type of toppings. You could go with more omelet type of toppings. So many ways you can go. Let me know how you like your omelet taco dogs. Thanks for joining us here. If you wouldn't mind, we'd appreciate it if you could give us a nice little thumbs up, like, subscribe, and you know, I keep hearing you got to hit the bell. So hit the bell so you can get notifications for when we drop a new video. Go ahead, share it with your friends. Share it with, or I mean, you don't have to share the omelet taco dog with anybody if you don't want to. That's cool. I understand. I get it. All right. See you next time. Bye.